For budding entrepreneurs with a great idea, beginning tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. out here in the West, Bloomberg is the place to go. It's the premiere of a new reality show called TechStars. The series follows a class of startups in TechStars incubator program as they compete for funding. But funding isn't the only thing the program provides.
The missing thing when you're a young entrepreneur, first-time entrepreneur, is mentorship, right? That's what I missed when I did my first 3 companies.
We've learned a lot of lessons, both good and bad. For me to be able to help people in a similar position, that's a great opportunity.
There's value in for the mentors as well. If Mark Zuckerberg's running around saying, you know, my mentor when I was building Facebook was X, what do you think the value of that is? So, you know, it's not all Mother Teresa.
Joining us now are David Cohen, the founder and CEO of TechStars, along with his co-founder, Brad Feld of the Foundry Group, both of them in Denver, and David Tisch, the managing director of TechStars New York, joining us from New York City. So, David Cohen, let's start with you. We heard you speaking earlier there about the challenges that you faced as an entrepreneur. When you're working with other entrepreneurs, what kinds of lessons are you trying to impart? I know the mentorship program is such a huge part of TechStars.
There are an enormous number of lessons that we try to help with. I think the key to TechStars is we really surround these entrepreneurs with an incredible diversity of mentorship. So each company tends to have very distinct issues. Things like just getting the product out into the market early, obviously how to go through fundraising. Those are some of the common things that we can help with.
Now, Brad Feld, let's head over to you. We've been covering TechCrunch Disrupt all week, talking about what kinds of startups make the cut. When you're looking for companies to invest in, is it more about the people or is it more about the idea at such an early stage?
I think at the very early stage, the idea is an important characteristic, and the way that entrepreneurs articulate the idea is important. But really, you're looking for amazing, incredible people that are going to be obsessed and passionate about whatever they're going after. And also facile if the idea as they're getting started needs to morph and in some cases change completely. It's critically important that the people are the ones that you're focused on in terms of our evaluation, and for them, that they're really capable of sticking with whatever path they're going to go down.
But what is it about the people? Let's go to David Tisch. I mean, is it the personality? Is it their resume and their background? Or is it just a gut feeling about someone?
You know, I think it's the passion that they show and the connection that they have to the idea they're working on. So an entrepreneur with a deep passion to solve a problem that they've been feeling, a pain that they've been feeling, with an elegant approach to that solution, I think that that's really what we're looking for. And the ability to execute on that solution, and so to see the idea through to the end.
David Cohen, are you looking for just ideas that will turn into good companies, or are you looking for world-changing companies?
Well, we're looking for world-changing companies. We know that they won't all turn out that way, but we want to know that they have a chance to have a big impact on the world. In some cases, these companies are, they're not all consumer internet companies. Some of them might just be developing a product for a business to use to make it more efficient, but we do try to look for companies that we think really could have a major impact on the world at large.
Now, earlier yesterday we were speaking with Paul Graham of the other incubator, Y Combinator. Obviously, they're based out here in Silicon Valley. Is you guys being based in Colorado and New York, is that a disadvantage or is that an opportunity?
Well, we think it's an opportunity. I think that there's a lot of data that shows that there's great companies in secondary markets. We think New York is obviously an awesome market. Boulder, Seattle, and Boston, where we are, there are tons of opportunities. And I think we've produced a lot of interesting companies and will continue to in those markets.
David Tisch in New York.
Not all of the companies are from there.
Okay, David Tisch in New York, how about you, where you have Silicon Alley rather than Silicon Valley?
Yeah, I mean, I think New York in the past probably 2 years has really just exploded in terms of the community of startups. And so there's a support system here, there's an investor community, and there's multi-time entrepreneurs that are, coming into TechStars and working with our entrepreneurs to help them take their business to the next level. So I would not want to be doing this anywhere else than New York.
One thing most startup investors will tell you is it's more about the people than the idea. That's true for the class of entrepreneurs featured on Bloomberg's newest reality show, TechStars. Back with me now are some of the stars of the show other than the entrepreneurs, including David Cohen and Brad Feld out in Denver, as well as David Tisch in New York City. So David Cohen, let's start with you. Why did you want to turn TechStars into a reality show?
Well, we certainly never set out to do that. We're 6 years old now. We've been doing this for a while. We really just think of the world as how can we make it a better place for entrepreneurs? How can we do more to help them? And really, we wanted to just show what it was like to go through TechStars, to be an entrepreneur, to get help from these great mentors, and just show the ups and downs of what it's really like. And if we can help people understand that and understand the value of mentorship, we think we can help more people maybe get interested in entrepreneurship, and also hopefully encourage more mentors to become mentors.
I think it's also really hard for people to, I was going to say, it's hard for people to understand what the process of being an entrepreneur is if you've never been through it or been in an entrepreneurial company. You can read a lot about it, you can talk about it, and I think when the idea of doing this came up, it was really a chance to show it in a really substantive way. And one of the things that we tell entrepreneurs all the time is make sure you're showing what's going on rather than just telling. And it seemed like a great opportunity to try to do that for the world.
Now, I've been seeing the tweets flying back and forth, not just from you guys, but from other people in the tech industry who are really excited to watch this. David Tisch, let me ask you, is there anything that you learned from this process?
Yeah, I mean, I think you learn in terms of the TV show or just TechStars in general?
In terms of doing the TV show, having the cameras follow these guys for several months.
Yeah, I mean, I think you learn to really analyze things a little bit differently. So being able to think about every moment of your day getting captured on TV and replayed months later, you take it a little bit more seriously. And so, there's a intensity that I think builds when there are cameras in your face basically 24/7.
Brad, what are we going to learn about the process of starting a company that we might not expect from this show?
I think you're going to learn a lot about the chaos and the uncertainty, all the things that don't go as planned, and how people deal with them, the emotions as they flare up and flare down that, especially when you're at the very early stages of the company, you're trying to figure things out, are a key part of it. It's not a very planned phenomena. And on top of it, I think you'll get a sense of how the mentors, in many cases, investors or other entrepreneurs, think about what they're seeing and how they interact with an entrepreneur, which I think in a lot of cases is going to be very surprising and refreshing because it's very human, it's very real.
David Cohen, is there anything that went on behind the scenes that we won't see, that the cameras missed?
Oh, God, I hope so. I think that with startups, it's just craziness. It's controlled chaos at best. And I think that when you take what was really 4 or 5 months of real time and compress it down into a few hours of TV, obviously I'm not going to show everything, but hopefully it will highlight, as Brad said, some very real moments that these companies went through, where there's success and there's failure. It's not all just good times. So it should be interesting.
I think from my perspective, the brilliance of what Bloomberg has done here and the people that worked on the show from your side is that you actually created a story arc out of something real versus something contrived. So when you think about a lot of the TV shows that have entrepreneurs or entrepreneur reality TV, which is, trendy construct, they're very artificial, they're very, very fake. This was real stuff, and then, there's nothing choreographed, but it's put together in a way that really tells a story with a story arc over a period of time, in this case, 90 days.
Well, I, for one, covering the technology industry, am very excited to see the show tonight. Brad Feld, David Cohen, and David Tisch, thank you all so much for joining us. And make sure to tune in tonight for the first installment of Bloomberg's new reality series, TechStars, right here on Bloomberg Television, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.